last night because I was in a bad spot.
Hi, Fancy.
I didn't know I was in a bad spot 4 years ago. I knew today, but I knew where I was going, and I thank you because you.
Okay, you hang in there.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Everyone who stepped to the plate last night to take care of me, thank you very much. April, what do you got to say, baby?
Hey, Jessica Jackson,
Got a lot to say,
you can go somewhere and get out of this live because you just admitted you were recording it, you dumb fuck.
If you have found anything in your paper about the landfill, because, they've...
Whether you're on the outside or in here and I can't see it, you can go somewhere.
The garbage that was discarded.
April, hold on a second. I need you to clarify something so I know where you're going.
Jessica Jackson?
The landfill. Tell me about the landfill because I don't remember. You might have mentioned it, but I don't remember. Why is the landfill important here?
Okay, because Gypsy did take out the garbage.
Okay.
And I just,
yes.
If they had went to the landfill.
So where's so do you know where the trash goes in Missouri, where they pick up from there? I mean, is it a landfill, like a real landfill?
I mean, the investigators should know.
Okay. Don't know.
I don't know personally myself, but I think a lot of the evidence for Dan is in that garbage bag.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely.
I just didn't know if you had found any in your papers.
I haven't, but like I said, I didn't look in this casebook for so damn long.
I know.
Now, I sure as shit am gonna look now. Thanks, April. I love you. All right, Bravo, you're up.
Hi, everyone. Fancy, I'm sorry. So sorry about what you're going through. And for everyone in the comments, in the boxes, watching the live on another creator's screen, like at the end of the day, the reason that people are so passionate about this case is because they side with one or the other. But at the end of the day, everyone matters. Everyone's side, everyone's story. Everybody here is struggling. Some of us are struggling to get to the truth. However, everybody has a story they're sharing. And I hope that we can all lead with love and compassion because we don't want to see anything like this happen again. We don't want to see these patterns repeated. I think at the end of the day, that's our main goal. But anyway, enough about that.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to save you from people who are very dangerous. I'm trying to save your children. They effed up me. They effed up mine. Don't let them F up yours.
Very well said, Bravo.
Thank you, Bravo.
Thank you, Hannah. So the question to you was, now that we have this new information, and thank you for sharing that, do you think Dan was there that day? Because it was a little confusing and we were trying to follow the story.
I'm okay, look. I don't know if he actually ended up there, but I know that something went down that day that was not involving Nick. Something. Do I think Nick was there too? Yes, I do. But something isn't right in what we've been told. And I do believe there's enough evidence to investigate Dan for damn sure. Somebody shut this investigation down. My information on that is that was the DA's office, because the sheriff's office was doing their jobs, and I've not found any corruption at all in the sheriff's office on anything I've investigated on any case. I have found it in the law enforcement, in the PD. I have found it in CPS. I have found it in the hospital system, and I have found it in the DA's office, but not the sheriff's office. But somebody had to tell the sheriffs to stop investigating. That had to be a DA, whether it was Patterson or an ADA. Somebody told them, we've got our guy, stop investigating anything else. And then they threw the whole kit and caboodle at the outside shooter. The creepy boy from Wisconsin who unalived a person and America's sweetheart murderer, darling, walked out of there on 8 years. That's not very bad for a whole thing that you would have gone down for life for fraud. And that's that day, but something didn't go right, guys.
That's horrible on the PD's part. And if you look at a case like American Nightmare, the cops I mean, they didn't believe them. They were totally looking in a different direction. So can we trust the evidence and the police at all times? Absolutely not. It's great that you bring this evidence to the
Right
forefront.
in my hometown that are like that right now because I live in the Good Old Boys Network.
Let's see.
It's a Good Old Boys Network. Something got swept under the rug that day. Lots of
Ebony
things.
McKnight.
One of them happened to be Nicholas. You know? I feel bad for Bobby. I feel bad.
Jess, we see you. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
somebody
so
go,
much.
whoever can block Ebony
Real
McKnight. She's on
quick,
Fancy's
there
telling her
are
that we're on
two
here.
different types of
One in her
cuts,
mouth.
one in the front and one in the back. And I remember somebody saying she was almost decapitated. So could there have been a third person in there? Could Dan have been there first prior to Nick? I mean,
I think we're going to
Who
know
knows?
by looking at
Thank
the
you, guys.
case file. I think we're going to figure that out by looking at the case file. I just don't think we're there yet. Oh, I know Wonderland talks about me. Yes, I do. Thank you for that information, guys. I just got a message. Hey, Hannah. Bravo, I don't know if I cut you off or if something happened. Appreciate you, baby. I think we're going to find the answers you're talking about, though, in the case file as we go through the case file. Because I'm not just focusing on Dan.
What did she say about me?
She said that she knows that you talk shit about her.
Case file. It's all in here, I guarantee you. The
And she can cry me crocodile
the
tears.
autopsy report and the
There's-
crime scene photos.
Let's see if she's
Everything
still
else
in
is a
here, if
distraction.
I can
Hey,
see
baby.
it.
Hi. So one of the first things I noticed in the crime scene photos,
There was Ebony McKnight.
even when I was a kid, is that there's like no blood splatter, right? So that makes no sense.
Right.
Anywho, last night I popped into your live for about an hour. You said at one point that anybody would be able to help with the what's it called? Not the retrial, the hearing that
There's a couple of
Nick is
them in
going to
yours
have.
right now
How
that
can I
are
help? Because
going
I
back and
am
forth
technically a
between
nobody.
hers and yours.
I just have followed this since I was a kid.
Well, and that's one of the things, we've been saying we need help, we need help, we need help. Because I do. Because, we have to start over.
Craven
and look at this
Moorhead
all
said, I
differently
wish
now.
Crime Talk didn't block me
need
because I
lots of
love
people for
harassing
lots of
her.
things. I have time to people about.
So she says that we need,
obviously need a
she needs
lawyer.
help. I will have to actually agree
Tomorrow,
with you
guys,
for
somebody,
once,
please,
April
somebody find me
Johns.
a lawyer.
You need
Fancy
a lot of
lawyer.
help.
I've got a legal
Do you know
team
who
that is
Craven
looking
Moorhead
at the
is?
legal, the documents for legal things. I have a medical doctor now, but I need people to organize things and share things and help with things, So if that's
Yeah, I'd be willing to do social
I need a
media
mod.
work if you would let.
I need a
if
mod.
You would like me to help, because I really do not think that Nick is as guilty.
I can do it as I sit here and let you guys record it if you want me to.
He was
Who's
definitely
that?
there, but
Michelle,
there's something way wrong with the situation.
the one on the screen, listening.
Crap, I had a question, but now I forgot it.
I mean, look,
It's okay.
just one way that this could have gone, but I think I gave you enough tonight for you to chew on. Hey, something didn't go right that night. Now, now we need to talk. And his appeal, okay, listen, I am a Christian woman. I know I need Jesus. I'm the sinner that knows I need Jesus. But listen, guys, I believe, I said something about it being a Shakespearean tale. This has Shakespeare written all over it. It's a sad, sad tragedy. It's been 7 years of trials and tribulation for me. It's 7 years in the Bible. I told you God was working on my soul last year.
She said,
He took
y'all
out a lot
better
of
get
people I
lawyers.
didn't need. He took out a person I really needed, but I think she's up there working for me. But it was 7 years in that house, too. Gypsy did 7 years in that house.
So,
Very magical number.
does anybody know where Dan is? Like, do we know that he
We know that he was deposed in the trial, in the appeal. He was deposed. That's how we know that she actually lost her V card to him and not Gypsy. This is why they had to make prison confessions, because they were trying to CYA everything they knew that I had, that was coming out with Nick's trial, that she was.
Because we're trying to prove a point. She's full of shit. That's why.
Because there are still charges that she could be charged
So,
with.
what is that word you said? It was a legal word. It starts with a D, I think.
Depose. Deposition.
Oh,
Deposition. Yeah,
Okay.
they deposed him. Yeah, so He was at the, I don't know if I'm going to try and see if I can get access to all the depositions. Yes. So Nick's new appeal was filed a while back, and we just now got the documents released. That's what started all of this, down this path, down a totally different road. I hadn't even seen it yet when I started. I just knew something was wrong that night. I just knew it. And I thought, I've looked at these medical records and I've talked about them, and I've run myself in circles with Gypsy. And every time I talk about Gypsy, because of what happened to me with the Blanchards and her, I get real triggered. So I get lost and I freak out. And I say stupid
and that's completely understandable because you're so close. You've been working on it for so long.
But this was something I could do and knew. And when I saw it, I told you guys when I saw that video, I something changed that day. It was something I just couldn't unsee. And once I knew it.
If it comes out that Dan was a big part of this, could Gypsy at all get
Not recharged in the state of Missouri, no.
so not even for contempt or lying to the court or anything like that?
We'll have to ask legal London.
Yeah,
Going down the right path, but I can tell you there's other people who can look at this case besides the state of Missouri.
well, FBI needs to be involved.
FBI was involved at one point in time with my case, with my stalking case, and guess who got me to take the FBI? You want to know who told me to not go to the FBI anymore? They were investigating my first stalker. All of them. FBI was on it. They had it. You know who convinced me not to do that? Oh, I give you one name, Christy. She told me we'd call a truce in the media and that Nasty would leave me alone and we wouldn't have to do this anymore. And for 4 years, we held peace until I just decided I couldn't take no more because this was bullshit. And all I wanted to do was make my book and my documentary, and they couldn't let me.
That is
I got 13 more people to come up, baby. So thank you for your
Okay, no problem.
processes, okay?
Have a good night. Stay
You too.
safe.
You too. Let me take and see. Alania.
She's such a hard-on for you, girl. Oh my god.
Alania, I noticed in one picture there was a bank deposit bag. So who has
What do you
that
mean?
unless lots of deposits? Also, in my opinion, feds could step in with Medicaid, in my opinion.
Come on, she was begging for gas money last
Jack,
night.
they'll bring you up
Get out of
next.
here.
$100,000 to get some interview.
Yeah.
Hi, Fancy. I'm not going to try. I just wanted to say thank you for bringing all of this to light. I think it's very important that we get the truth out there and we find out really what happened. And I'd love to help you spread this on social media more and get it out there because I think that it's all just been twisted because everybody has so many different thoughts on it. So,
I mean, I didn't bring Dan into this. People are asking why Dan? Nick's the one who said Dan. Nick's the one who said Dan. I've got to go listen to more and more and more of what Nick said in that 16 freaking hours as he sits there. Because he probably tells you the whole damn thing. We just couldn't understand him because he was mumbling. But now I've got an audio guy, and he's going to do them for me. So we're going to know exactly what Nick said for 16 fucking hours.
I watched the interrogation videos, and I was like, something's not adding up. Their stories don't really match.
I'm not saying I'm right, folks. I'm just saying I got all the information. Let's talk the fuck about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm kind of excited to hear what Nick has to say on the 5th.
I am too, but I wanted to bring this tonight because that's what I wanted to do. I want to give this boy the best chance he can. He's a man now. Okay, he's a man.
He just deserves the chance to speak up about what happened.
He deserves to see his dad. His dad deserves to hold him. His mother deserved to see him again. My God, she took a lot of lives, folks, that night.
Oh shit, here comes the waterworks.
Because she just didn't want to walk out the fucking door. She could, she did. That bitch took lives, and she tried to take mine, too. Don't you forget, I did have a death threat. Because I got this to Christy Blanchard.
The parole officer for Gypsy didn't believe a freaking word she said.
Nothing really else. If you would like me to help you spread information, I'd be more than willing to. I'm always in your lives, so.
No problem, baby. Hit us up. Everybody who wants to help, hit us up on email. I will be going through them next week with the team, and we will be bringing people to the thing. Yeah, you know what my death threat was? I'll tell you what my death
Nancy called the parole officer of Gypsy and said she had a death threat.
on the phone from prison.
And the parole officer didn't believe one bit, Nancy said.
Guess what? Their legal department hasn't called me back. Wonder why? Because what she said to me was,
Hey, Jury Master, we all discovered she needs the vitamin D.
She makes this all about her.
And then she proceeded to send me an apology letter after I told Christy what happened. And then she followed that shit up with a call, with an email that I will put out there. Then in the very last bottom says, when we're done with you, no production company is ever going to want to work with you. And they tried.
And nobody wants to.
They tried. They tried to silence me. They tried to silence Nick. They tried to silence Kate. They tried to silence anyone who doesn't fit their narrative. And if you ain't
Doesn't her voice get like The Exorcist? Do you notice that? She goes from talking soft to then The Exorcist.
Family, what did I tell you? I'm waiting. I know you guys have been waiting a long time. I'm trying to get people up.
We know she's waiting for the vitamin
If
D.
you don't know, Stephanie, Nick's mother, after learning that her baby boy was never coming home and she never saw him again. I am big mad, thank you. And she never saw him again. And she put a needle in her arm and she overdosed on H. So that's a sad, sad story. And I don't care what you think about me being angry or not. Because I have every right. And you should be too.
Hey, this book is getting awesome. But I do have one question. The Cards book that you recommended me, can I pronounce that over here from A&E? Okay. House of Cards is falling. That was great. My question is, because this is kind of pertaining about what we're talking about tonight, do you think that was presented the way that you really wanted your book to be presented? Because I did watch it. I got a couple hang-ups about it.
Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had enough hand in that I felt that at least I was happy with it. Okay. And I felt like it was a comprehensive look at, hey, something's not right, but I didn't have all the pieces at that point either,
Right.
But I felt like it was the first time we didn't have a gypsy spin on something.
Right, I loved it.
And I did that on purpose, because that's what I said. I wouldn't do it if they didn't do it. I didn't tell them what they had to put in there. I didn't say, hey,
yeah, book on how to get through menopause.
You have to do this, you have to do that. No. I gave them all the information. You know what the A&E producer told me? She's the first person who told me to write the book, because what she told me is I came to you from your podcast, and you need to take every single piece of that podcast and you need to transcribe the shit out of it, and you need to put a book out, babes. That's what you need to do. That's your first book, and that is going to be our first book.
Okay, now my next question is, do you think that they covered the character Nick the way what you know now from then?
No, nobody's covered Nick right. No.
Okay.
Nobody's told the story right. Nobody has told Nick's story at all. Not right. No. The axe made him a stupid guy. The Mommy Dead and Dearest made him an evil guy. Gypsy's Revenge acted like he didn't exist. A&E, they didn't really go in on him or anything. They just presented him as the out of town killer, basically, right? Schiller, whatever.
Right.
He did a good job. I was very proud of that. And I would have walked away from that. If I'd left it like that, I could have left it like that. We just wanted to do our own, so we were going to.
Yeah, so I think why things turned, personally, in my opinion, in your book, for you, is because the wool was not pulled over your eyes anymore.
Yeah.
And they knew.
Last year, I'm telling you, God's plan, not mine.
Yes, and they knew that you were going to expose the truth in your book. Well, a fiction book. Mm-hmm. I love your book. I love it. So anybody out there, is it on any of your podcasts or anything? Because I'd like to shout out where I seen it.
The A&E? No, because I don't have a link to it. I know it's on Hulu.
I seen it on Y2 or YT is where I seen it, and yeah, you guys really need to understand exactly on where this whole situation is coming from on Fancy's side. Is you really need to watch the House of the Cards Falling. Excellent. And I think that too at this point, since you made that, because I believe it was in 2020, I believe that you did.
I think you're getting two things mixed up, though. I did A&E's current cases. What are you talking about, House of Cards? Maybe I'm confused.
So I got on YouTube today.
Yeah.
And I pulled that up. And you were in there. You had longer hair. It was red. Yes, ma'am. It's from 2020.
YouTube House of Cards.
You got me done.
Yes, and you have to put your name in there, your stage name.
She's got to be messing with her. She's got to be messing with her, you guys. I know who that is.
Quiet.
See,
It's Falling. House of Cards is.
I know who that is.
House of Cards is falling.
She's sending her a cryptic message.
It does.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was very good. But I think that now you know a lot more than you did in 2020.
What, baby?
It was good. I think it was good. I think that.
What we did was they took pieces of my A&E special.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't even know this was done, but I'm going to have to watch it now because it's different.
Yes.
It's funny because I just knew the House of Cards were falling today. The other day when I put that up, I just knew that. I didn't even know. That's why I was confused what you were meaning. So, because you kept saying House of Cards, and I was like, okay, maybe she's talking about,
House of Cards is falling. I think that the character in the book, that they did cover him pretty well. They didn't have a lot of negative to say. Yes, please watch it. Please watch it. If you do not know about it, anybody,
you can drop in the chat.
I'm sorry?
Do you have a link that you can drop in the chat?
I can pull one up. Okay, yeah, so I will step down and I will get that going and we will put it up there. It was very good.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Love you. All right.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Oh, and the A&E special called Killer Cases Season 1, Episode 6. That's my full one. That was mine. So the other one that she's talking about must have taken clips from that and then put it together. So now I got to go ahead and look and see what that is. So we'll find it. Hi, CJ. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all? I just got here.
If you're watching live on any of the other platforms, if you come to our TikTok, you can come in and ask questions in there. If you have a TikTok following of over 200, you can step up to the box. If not, I will be answering other cases or other questions as I come along. Hi, CJ. You just got here?
Yes, I just got here, so I missed everything. Did y'all record tonight?
Oh, yeah, it's recorded, girl. You better go back and watch it.
Yes, that's what I was wanting to know because I saw your video earlier about Nick and your email to him, and I thought that was a very sincere, heartfelt email. It was touching. I feel bad for him. I feel horrible for him, and I think he deserves all the support he can get because at the end of the day, that kid is autistic. He was put in a situation that he didn't ask to be put in, made to believe that that was his only choice, totally taken advantage, set up, framed by this seemingly mastermind little criminal, to me, in my opinion. And I just feel bad for him. And I think all the support, does his dad get to go see him, or does his dad go see him?
I do know that there's pictures. See, I didn't know when was the last time that Bobby saw him, but he posted pictures of him in a Facebook group that I'm in. And I think he's seen him recently, but I don't think he ever got to see Stephanie again.
That's what I found his address because I think I want to write him just to say, hey, Some people out here are still are don't think you're this awful monster and think you deserve something different. Maybe not freedom, but treatment anyway. Maybe a mental hospital or something. I don't know, because I don't know everything about the case, but I just think that he definitely probably will appreciate that email, and I hope he reaches out to you and answers it. I think I'm going to write him just to show him that the world is changing.
We're in here watching. I know people said they would bring him to the table. I know that he heard my messages when I messaged him. I know he did. We haven't always had a good relationship, me and Bobby, but that was mainly because of the Blanchards and how far up the Blanchards' ass I was. You know? And
well, yeah, I can see where they can suck you in. I saw a girl on TikTok, and she was at a fishing. She was a fisherman, and she said that 3 of the Blanchards just totally treated her horrible, and if it had been another situation, she would have called the police and filed
If
charges.
a girl named Alex comes in here, block her.
Harassment in the S-way. I don't know if I can say that.
No, she's going to come and share her story. We've been talking. Yeah.
Oh, I hope so, because she said they were horrible, awful people, and I was thinking, I want to know what happened.
They are. They are.
Yeah, I believe that. I can see. I had for 5 minutes after this, when I first heard this on the news, because I'm in Missouri, so you do hear a lot about it around here, but everybody I know can't stand her, but they've seen the truth. At first, everybody was in support. Thought, this little girl's been kidnapped and she's in trouble, and this crazy lunatic's got her, but after you look into it, you see that ain't exactly what happened.
You know what, CJ? I think if I had actually been there in real time watching that, because when I got to Megan's thought, when I got to MJ Pack's thought catalog, I was already 2 years behind the curve because I wasn't following this. I found it because Mommy, Dead, and Dearest was coming out. You know, she said that the act is what made her house. No, baby. You did that, Mommy, Dead, and Dearest, and that was the beginning for you with that. I mean, and she had every opportunity to tell the damn truth that day, and she didn't tell it.
Oh, yes, she didn't
tell it. And the Blanchards didn't tell it. And they didn't.
Yeah, she's had a lot of opportunities to tell the truth. It seems like she just likes to make these little puzzles and mazes where people have to work around to try to figure out what's the truth and what's a lie.
And you know what we're going to do? The next thing we're going to work on, one of the next things we're going to work on once I get through the case file, is we're going to sit down and we're going to do a comparison of every interview she did. So I'm going to write down every story she's told, and I'm going to tell you exactly how many stories she's told and what those stories
versions of it. That would be great. I want to buy your book the day it comes out. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know what you know. But I'm learning more every day.
Well, you guys have been listening.
It's absolutely.
You might have to wait 7 years.
They think she's a hero.
Oh,
I was in one chat where some 13-year-old girl had told somebody she wanted to she was going to do the same thing, be just like her.
Well, she's out here living her best life.
Yeah, getting that Fire D. I think if I was getting some Fire D,
He is so jealous of her.
I'm not sure, but
every damn night.
Unreal.
When you say Fire D, it just makes me think maybe you got into something you shouldn't have.
It's what?
I know. She don't care. Look what she did to her. Is that her nephew she put out here trying to?
Oh, that's her husband.
You got me dead.
Boy,
This is for entertainment purposes only.
Already, I wouldn't have hurt nowhere near the minors of my family.
Allegedly, and for entertainment and educational purposes only. But yeah, you know,
I hate to say this, but he'll probably.
I just recorded that. I'm going to upload that picture with her saying that.
To take herself up on that.
I said that I was worried about Mia Blanchard. Because that's why I was worried about Mia Blanchard. I had received a death threat, and then I said, hey, Christy, one day you guys are going to have to realize that she's a murderer, and I think you and Mia are in trouble.
Yeah, because Mia seems like the down to earth, common sense, the smart one. She's the only one who stood back and said, hold on, why would you get married to someone in prison? She's not lived. Why would you do